NWKSradio.net. Where should you go to find out what's happening in the area? NWKSradio.net. What's happening with local area sports? NWKSradio.net. Is the weather causing delays or cancellations? NWKSradio.net. Need tickets to the next big NWKS Radio event? NWKSradio.net. The place to go to be in the know. NWKSradio.net.
Your livelihood is important to you. You work hard to succeed in your farming operation, crop, livestock, home, vehicles, and special needs. We have you covered. Discounts are available for new business, remodeling, hail-resistive roofing, multi-policy, and many more. Optional coverage endorsements as well for machinery, ingestion, and equipment breakdown. Umbrella coverage for additional coverage on your home, farm, and auto. See the girls at the insurance agency at 1020 Main in Goodland or call 785-899-5011.
Are you ready to celebrate your graduate's milestone? Make it unforgettable with timeless treasures from your local jewelry store. From elegant necklaces to sophisticated watches, we have the perfect gift to mark this special occasion. Each piece is crafted with care, reflecting the unique journey of your graduate. Come visit us today and discover the perfect gift that will shine as bright as their future. Celebrate their achievements with style and grace at Zimbelman's Jewelry in downtown Burlington, your trusted destination for graduation gifts.
With 9 locations across Northwest Kansas, the High Plains Co-op continues to stand with you, giving you the service you need and deserve. They're here for all of your grain, feed, and fuel needs, as well as helping you manage the marketing and crop insurance sector with their HPC Risk Management Program. Visit them online at high-plainscoop.com to get the latest markets, ag news, and information, or call them today at 785-462-3351. That's 462-3351. Continuing to stand with you is the High Plains Co-op.
Are you in search of a new pickup? Well, why not trust the team at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas, as they currently have great deals on all kinds of trucks. Get yourself into a 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 pickup with 5.9% APR plus $3,250 purchase allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Or get a 2024 GMC Sierra 2500 pickup with 5.9% for 84 months. As always, go to hurlchev.com to schedule any service or check out what's on the lot, or just stop on by in South Goodland.
Whether you're buying your first house or your retirement dream home, we know the importance of getting a mortgage you can live with. At F&B Bank, our goal is to make your financing search quick and enjoyable, from the terms to the personal attention along the way. Give me, Brett Lampy, a call at 785-890-5616 to apply today. F&B Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
In recent months, some people looking for Midwest Energy on Google have reported sponsored ads pop up with different phone numbers, connecting them to scammers. When online, always look closely at links and phone numbers before clicking or calling. Midwest Energy's only phone number is 1-800-222-3121. Any other number, and it's likely a scam. Midwest Energy, a customer-owned cooperative, making energy work for you.
You ready? Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4!
It's the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
Give me my cane. I'll show you how to play this game.
The region's only local sports talk.
Dynamite drop-in at Broadcast School has really paid off.
Broadcasting on Goodland's Rocket 102.5, simulcasting on Goodland's 730 Gold KLOE.
Sky is everywhere.
Discussing it all from the preps.
Touchdown, the Cowboys!
To the pros.
And Timmy back on the track. It's out of here. Bobby Witt Jr. delivers a go-ahead grand slam.
The Blitz is presented by Hurl Chevrolet GMC, Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware, and F&B Bank, as well as the Insurance Agency, Farmer State Bank in Oakley, the Cowboy Corner Express, and Equity Bank of Hoxie, Quinter, and Grinnell.
Let's go to work. By Meyer, and this is a drive to left. I mean, the first big league homer halfway up the bleachers and left. Touch 'em all time, Aaron Shunk. The Rockies take a 3-2 lead.
That's out over the plate, into the left field corner, and gone up onto the patio. And the Royals have their third home run of the game.
Chazzy Fizz followed up by Jordan with a smash to center. 3 in a row! The big man is on fire. 3 straight home runs, a laser beam over the wall in center.
That's in the air left field. That's trouble. Jankowski back, and a magic catch! Oh my
goodness, what a grab! He brings the game back!
Anybody happen to see that play last night in the White Sox-Rangers game? That was an amazing play. It was going to be a walk-off home run for the White Sox, but the center fielder for Texas robbed it, like reaching over the fence. That was an amazing play. If you haven't seen it, you got to check that out on social media or check the highlights. That was an awesome play. Anyway, hey, good Thursday morning, everybody. Glad you could join us here on the Morning Blitz. A beautiful morning, at least in my opinion. I know the sun's not out shining, but I don't mind a cloudy start to the day. 68 degrees on our way to a high of 80. But glad you're with us here on the Morning Blitz to get your day rolling on a Thursday, where today we'll continue with some more area football previews. We're heading up north into Atwood to visit with Rollins County head football coach Aaron Schrammick. He'll join us coming up here in about 20 minutes or so and get his thoughts on the Buffaloes, who I think could have another great season. They have one of the best players in Northwest Kansas in back Ryan Schrammick. So Aaron Schrammick will join us coming up here and talk about Rollins County football coming up at the back end of the show. The Royals and Rockies, losers and winners respectively yesterday. We'll get to a little bit more on that. The Royals with a chance to sit atop lone in the AL Central did not happen. They have a game they blow late to the Cleveland Guardians, and so Cleveland remains a game up at this point in time. And then also, the Rockies get a win last night behind Aaron Trunk's first Major League Baseball home run and a good outing from Austin Gomber. So we'll get to a little bit more baseball as well. And of course, we've made it, folks. It is officially week 1 getting going tonight in the college football season. We'll touch on Kansas football opening up their year at Children's Mercy Park tonight against Lindenwood. Which a game you can watch, of course, on ESPN Plus, but more importantly, you can listen to it on your home for the Kansas Jayhawks Fly Over Country 97.9 with a 7 o'clock Central Time tip-off right there from Kansas City. So we'll get to more of that coming up in just a bit. We finally made it to week 1 of the college football season. Week 0 was fun. It was nice. A little toe dip in the pool, to say the least. But now we have reached week 1 where we have a full slate, and everybody's favorite college football team will be playing this weekend. And that is super exciting. Doesn't matter if you're a Buffalo fan, who also plays tonight, by the way, in a great game that I'm super excited to see. Nebraska and UTEP on Saturday. Of course, K-State gets UT Martin on Saturday as well. So everybody's in action. Look forward to the first full weekend of the college football season. Before we get to what I was going to do, the Power 5, and talk about the top 5 games got my eye on this weekend in the college football slate, I want to give a few quick thoughts and a shout out to Goodland High School athletes and coaches for stopping on by and visiting with me as they get ready for the upcoming 2024 season ahead of the drink scrimmages. Got a chance to visit with all the programs of the fall sports and all their coaches as well, and a few of the athletes. It was a lot of fun to visit with them yesterday. Thank you to the athletes and to the coaches for stopping by and spending some time. And we will have those interviews kind of coming out as we progress here. I just released late last night, early this morning, the tennis one, because Goodland Cowgirl Tennis opens its season at Waukene here today, and so you can hear from head coach Allie Holleran and 3 seniors, Addie Owens, Maddie Murray, and also Phoebe Noctegal. Those 3 ladies will be joined me yesterday to visit about the upcoming tennis season and talk a little bit there. So once again, that is now available on SoundCloud, where you kind of follow at NWKS Sports on SoundCloud. That's where you can find that stuff, and we'll be releasing that stuff. You can follow me on Twitter /X at Ross Volkmer. Post it there. It's also on our NWKS Radio Facebook page if you'd like to go give a listen to that. But yeah, and it was good. Got to watch a little bit of the scrimmages yesterday. Took in a little bit of the volleyball scrimmage. Took in a little bit of the football scrimmage yesterday. It was good, fun to see. You know, it's definitely a different look, especially offensively for Goodland Cowboy football. That is for sure. After trying to kind of run the old single wing and run the football 85-90% of the time, at least wanting to going to now where you're going to maybe pass it a little bit more for sure with a little bit more spread concepts, which is fine. But yeah, definitely different look and looked good at times for sure. Looked good. Kind of liked what I saw. I'll be intrigued to see how it how it pans out against the competition this season. Look forward to seeing that. Goodland certainly has some confident football players, and visiting with them yesterday, feeling very good about the upcoming season. Hopefully that will continue throughout the entire 9 games of the regular season, and hopefully more. We'll see how it all shakes out. But anyway, just a few thoughts from yesterday at the drink scrimmages and things of that sort. But anyway, like I said, I'm super excited. College football is here tonight. It'll be 3 screens wide in the Volkmer basement. We'll be watching Colorado take on North Dakota State. You got Minnesota, UNC, and then Kansas Lindenwood. And then if we find the extra way, we'll get a little Grayson McCall and NC State. Want to see him playing at NC State against Western Carolina. I don't know why those games. I don't know. Those just games intrigue me. But as you know, I love to do during this time of year the college football and NFL Power 5, the top 5 games I've got my eye on. And we're going to do that here in the first segment, week 1 of the college football season. And here is my Power 5. So starting off with some honorable mentions today. Some honorable mentions in the college football Power 5. LSU hosting USC. Actually, no, I'm going to say it's LSU, USC, and it's in Vegas, excuse me. So LSU will be the home team. But nonetheless, Vegas is the site of LSU, USC, 2 top 25 football programs, at least going into the season. This is an honorable mention game for me. I don't know why it doesn't have as much flair. Maybe because we just don't have the players that we know. I mean, USC graduated Caleb Williams. They've got Max Miller now as their quarterback. LSU lost Jalen Daniels, who was both those quarterbacks are going to be starters in the NFL week 1. And now their respective programs are going to try to move on without them. And I'm sure they'll do just fine. But I look forward to that game on what is Saturday night at 5:30. Another couple honorable mention ones for you as well. This one include Colorado State at Texas. The Rams of CSU going down to Texas. Look, Texas should win this game easily. They're double-digit point favorites. But I think Colorado State will put up some points. I don't know why. Their quarterback is a very, very talented player. And he was the guy that I think even Kansas State was sniffing around, wondering if he would possibly transfer into their program at one point in time last year. So he's very, very good. I think it's like Nikosi, his last name, something like that. He's really good. A great passer of the football. And they throw the ball a lot at Colorado State. And I don't know, I just feel like that game could be interesting between Colorado State and Texas. So those are a few of the honorable mention games that I'm kind of intrigued to see how it shakes out here in week number 1. But let's get moving on with the College Football Power 5 and starting with number 5. And that would be the game tonight over in Boulder. The Colorado Buffaloes and Coach Prime hosting FCS stalwart powerhouse program, North Dakota State Bison. This should be, I am so stoked for this game. This should be a dandy of a game. It really should. Colorado has got all the flash and all the fanfare, and it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's enticing. It draws you in. You want to see all that fanfare, and it creates a divide. You either love it or you hate it, but no matter what, you still want to see it. You either want to see it succeed or you want to see it fail. And so tonight we get a chance to do that. I mean, I'm not a Colorado fan, obviously. I'll be pulling for the North Dakota State Bison, even though it'd be better if Colorado won from the perspective of my Nebraska football fanhood. But I think this game is going to be good. You've got the flash and all that of Colorado, and then you've got just the FCS stalwarts of the Dakota schools, hard-nosed, just down and dirty, just play football. What's going to stand? I really think this is going to be a really good game. Colorado is a 9.5-point favorite, and maybe they pull away late, but I think this game is going to be close throughout. So I'm super excited about North Dakota State and Colorado as my number 5 in the Power 5 here in week number 1.
Number 4.
Number 4 in the College Football Power 5 for me is going to be another game that features a team from the FCS. South Dakota State the Jackrabbits, the defending FCS national champs, at Oklahoma State, the Cowboys there. Once again, a 9.5-point favorite are the Pokes at home in Oklahoma State, and they're a ranked top 25 team. But South Dakota State, once again, has been the king of the FCS here the last few years. They've been up at the top playing for national champs. They've got a couple players that probably could have transferred out of their program and gone to a bigger power program like Texas or something like that. Could have gotten paid tons of NIL money, but decided to stick around and stay at South Dakota State. They have got a great quarterback, great line play. I'm just super intrigued to see how these teams from the FCS stack up, particularly the two of the best teams. I'm going to say the very best. Montana State, we saw beat New Mexico. These will be stiffer tests in Colorado and Oklahoma State. But South Dakota State going to Oklahoma State, very, very interesting game to me. I think it will be a close game. I think South Dakota State and North Dakota State in both these games, whether it's Thursday tonight or Saturday when this game is played at 1 o'clock Central, noon Mountain, I think these games are going to be very, very close and very entertaining. So I'm very intrigued to see how South Dakota State stacks up against Oklahoma State, because you've got really, really good programs out of the Dakotas. So that is number 4 in the college football Power 5.
Number 3
on my college football Power 5 is going down south, where Notre Dame takes on Texas A&M. And this game will be in College Station. The Aggies are 20th. The Irish are ranked top 10, number 7. Of course, Texas A&M's got a brand new head coach and a whole new coaching staff. Mike Elko and Colin Klein, former Kansas State OC. They're all down there trying to get that program in Texas A&M to turn the corner that Jimbo Fisher could not. Notre Dame has got a new quarterback in Riley Leonard, who transferred in from Duke, who's a very, very talented quarterback. I don't know what they have a lot for pieces around him, to be honest with you. But I think this game is entertaining. Right now, Texas A&M, a 3-point favorite at home against the Fighting Irish. But I still think, once again, this is one of those games. These are one of those games you want to tune in because of what you see on the field. It's the helmets. It's the colors. It's the clash. You get these great games of these great programs. So I look forward to seeing how, first of all, Riley Leonard looks at Notre Dame. Does he look as good as he has in previous years at Duke? Can he stay healthy, too? That'd be big, but that's a question for further down the line, I think. And then Texas A&M, I'm intrigued about that program because of Coach Elko and especially what he does defensively. He's a phenomenal defensive mind. And Colin Klein, we know, is a great offensive line from his years in Manhattan. So Texas, but how far along are they in the process in year number 1? So intrigued to see Notre Dame, Texas A&M. You know it's going to be a ruckus crowd. 110 plus strong. Trying to think what the crowd size is there. It's humongous. Yeah, they don't post on there, but yeah, it'll be 110 plus strong at Kyle Field. That place is ridiculous. It's humongous, and I'm just intrigued to see what that looks like. It's what you kind of get excited about, those big crowds and all that energy for college football. So number 3, Notre Dame going down to Texas A&M. All right, on to
number 2.
Number 2, and this is probably the biggest game on everybody's schedule this year, or at least in week 1, and that would be Georgia and Clemson. The only reason that I don't really have it as game number 1 is because I think it could get a little out of hand. Right now, Georgia is a 2-touchdown favorite. This game, of course, happening in the Aflac kickoff. I believe it's happening in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Yes, down there where the Atlanta Falcons play. So not that Clemson fans won't travel, they will, but I think it's going to be a good number of Georgia fans since they don't have to go very far. They have the closer trip, I should say. But you've got a Georgia team that I think is extremely hungry. They missed the playoffs last year. Carson Beck is back. A lot of guys are back. They are going to be playing with a vengeance this year. And even though Clemson has some good players back, including their quarterback, Cade Klubnik, I just don't think they probably match up very great with Georgia. I see Georgia taking care of business by a couple of touchdowns, kind of like what the spread says. So we'll see, but that's where my gut sits right here on this Thursday. I still think it could be a great game, a great atmosphere. I just think Clemson will be a little bit outclassed by Georgia in this game. It's just my thoughts on it. That's why it's number 2 and not
number 1.
Number 1, is an old school rivalry. Kids today won't know this because, it was a while ago. But this used to be, this game, a rivalry called the Backyard Brawl. Penn State and West Virginia. Before Penn State left to go to the Big Ten, and before West Virginia left the Big East to go to the Big 12, this used to be a rivalry game that was played every single year, and this rivalry is a hot one. They don't like each other. Now, once again, they haven't played each other. I think they played last year, in Happy Valley. There we go. But this is going to be in Morgantown, where they burn couches, where they do crazy things in Morgantown, West Virginia. That crowd's going to be juiced. They're not ranked, but their coach thinks that, in Neil Brown, he thinks that they've got a couple of top 100 players in college football. There's a rankings release that came out a few days ago talking about the top 100 players in college football, and his quarterback, Garrett Green, and one of his offensive linemen were on. He said, hey, where are these guys at? They're top 100 players. And West Virginia had a great turnaround season last year after struggling for a while with Neil Brown. They put it together last year and kind of helped save his job for the time being. And this would be another massive step in the direction of helping Neil Brown secure his place there in Morgantown if he can knock off Penn State, who's a top 10 team. I think this game will be good. Penn State is an 8-point favorite on the road, which is quite a big spread. But I think this game will be good. I really do. Rivalry games, just sometimes they bring out the best in fans. And sometimes they bring out the best of the athletes, but like these type of rivalry games where, the kids don't remember it as much because it wasn't a big part of the deal when they were growing up. But this was a big-time game years ago. This used to be one of those games that used to be, back when college football was good, kids, it was when the games were on Thursday nights. That's when it was good. That is when it was good. No, the NFL was only on Sundays and Mondays. That's only when the NFL was. College football was maybe have one game on Thursday, maybe one game on Friday. Usually not, though. Friday was actually when it was really good. It was one game Thursday, no games Friday, all the rest of the games on Saturday. There was one big game on Thursday, and boy, it was great to tune into. And this type of game, the Penn State West Virginia game, I remember watching it growing up as a kid, being on a Thursday night. This was the type of game that was great on Thursday night. Now it's going to be on, I think, Big Noon Kickoff on Fox. I think Big Noon Kickoff is going to be there, the crew, for their first game. I think this game is going to have a lot of energy. I think West Virginia is going to hang around and make it a good game. I don't really trust Drew Aller yet at Penn State, the quarterback. So I think this game is a good one. And I believe that we're going to see a really, really good game, which is why it is number one on my college football Power 5 here in week number 1. So once again, in recapping, some honorable mention games this week. USC at LSU. Colorado State at Texas. There's also Florida at Miami, but I don't know why that game doesn't intrigue me very much. I don't know why. It just doesn't. But number 5, I've got North Dakota State at Colorado tonight. Oh, it's going to be good. South Dakota State, Oklahoma State, number 4. I think that's another. I just want to see how the best team in the FCS stacks up against a really good, like a top 3 or 4 Big 12 team. And then Notre Dame at Texas A&M at number 3, Clemson at Georgia number 2, and Penn State going to West Virginia and Morgantown, number 1 on my games of football this weekend. I'm looking forward to. Oh, it's going to be good. Super excited for college football to be back in our lives full time, get back in that swing of things with that weekly schedule. There you go. Our first edition here in 2024 of the College Football Power 5. We'll do it every single week, talking about probably on Wednesdays. We'll do it on Wednesdays usually, but because there's no NFL, we did it on a Thursday. We usually do Wednesdays for college football, Thursdays the NFL for Power 5. All right, we're right at the bottom of the hour. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will be talking with head coach of the Rollins County Buffaloes. That is Aaron Schromick next. A great season expected up there in Atwood this year. We'll get his thoughts. You're listening to the Morning Blitz here on a Thursday.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Head to Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale. This week only, get a queen mattress for just $89.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Offer available in-store for pickup only. See store for details.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Get the most out of your wireless service with Nextech Wireless. Get unlimited talk and text with 22 gigabytes of high-speed data for $25 a month. And that's not all. We have all the latest devices and a team who will help you every step of the way. Get a device on us with no contract. Nextech Wireless. Home on the range.
It's time for a check of the markets with the Anderson Trade Group on the Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio Network.
Good morning, this is Kate Thompson with the Anderson Trade Group. Today is Thursday, August 29th. And on the overnight last night, September corn traded higher 2 1/4 at 367.5. December up 1 1/4 at 392. March up a half cent at 410 1/4, and May up a quarter at 420 1/4. Soybeans, the September contract traded higher 11 3/4 on the overnight at 970 1/4. November up 10 1/2 at 987.5. January up 10 cents at 1004 1/4, and March beans up 9 1/4 at 1019. Chicago wheat, the September contract lower 4 1/4 on the overnight at 510. December down 4 1/4 at 537 1/4. March down 4 cents at 558.5, and May soft wheat down 3 3/4 at 570.5. Kansas City wheat, the September contract lower 5 3/4 at 539. December down 2 1/4 at 553.5. March down 1 1/2 at 566 3/4, and May down 3 1/2 at 571.5. On the stock market this morning, the Dow up $279 to 41,560. The S&P up 17 at 5,627. The Nasdaq up 62 at 19,478. And gold higher $4.20 an ounce at 2,541. Crude oil up 67 cents a barrel at 75.19. If you have any questions about marketing grain or would like to talk about risk management options, give our Colorado office a call. John Hankey or John Stiles at 970-744-4484, or in our Kansas City office, myself, Tom Saludo, Jared Law, or Tyler Ghosh at 913-748-3000.
The Anderson Trade Group, proud market partners with Kansas Farm and Ranch Radio. Find out more at andersongrain.com. The risk of loss through trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated, is not indicative of future results. The Anderson Trade Group has no guarantee that the advice given will result in profitable trades.
When challenging conditions arise, we don't back down. We up our game. Outpacing the competition with innovations fueled by Bayer's R&D, keeping you equipped with an expanded portfolio, elite genetics, and additional local test plots. Channel leads the field, so you can rise above. See how you can save at channel.com/finance24. Read and follow pesticide label directions, grain marketing, and other stewardship practices.
When it comes to growing soybeans, you need an advantage. And with Zetavo soybean seed, you get a big one. 3.4 bushels per acre big. It's a yield advantage made possible by BASF genetics, proprietary germplasm, and industry-leading seed quality. Talk to your retailer today about staying ahead of the game with Zetavo soybean seed from BASF. Zetavo soybean seed.
The Chevy Summer Drive event is going on right now at Hurl Chevrolet GMC in Goodland, Kansas. Right now, you can get a Chevy Silverado 1500 pickup with up to $5,750 of total rebates when you trade in an eligible vehicle, or get 1.9% financing on select 2023 and 24 model Chevrolets, plus no payments for 90 days. As always, go to hurlchev.com to schedule any service or check out what's on the lot.
heavily invested in local business and activities contributing in many ways back to their community. Their employees are involved with many organizations and area events. Plus, a lot of experience comes with that staff. You'll find valuable local assistance when you bank at the Equity Bank of Hoxie, Grinnell, Quinter, and other locations in western Kansas. The Equity Bank, member FDIC.
The region's only local sports talk.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
The Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
8:36 Central Time, 7:36 in the Mountain Time Zone, 68 and cloudy outside on our way to a high of 80, one of the cooler days this week. Coming up, we'll get to Kansas football and their season opening up tonight, coming up in our next segment. But we're pleased to welcome on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware hotline our guest of the day, and continuing our area football previews, talking with Rawlins County head football coach. That would be Aaron Schrammick, who joins us now. Coach Schrammick, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Ross.
Coach, how has the summer been? How was kind of getting ready for this upcoming season through the summer months? How was it for you and your guys?
We had a good summer, really good attendance at the weight room and some of our workouts throughout the summer, trying to get the younger guys involved and learning what our expectations and going into the next season.
How has it been kind of, because of the unfortunate incident that happened there at the high school, how has that impacted kind of summer workouts and things of that sort?
The summer before, it really impacted us. We were kind of all over the place trying to find places to work out and stuff. And once we got the stuff moved out of the school and into kind of what we call the wrestling room that's in the same area, that's a smaller area. We had to kind of spread out the times for workouts between the girls and the boys in junior high school. And so we made it work. We were able to get in there 4 days a week and take care of what we need to. And, the football program's probably the least affected. It's kind of rerouted where we get ready, and the locker rooms are still not quite ready to go. But we still, we were able to still use the field and the practice field. So that was a nice thing.
How much easier, though, was it this year, kind of knowing what to expect and how to kind of go about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. It was a lot easier. The transition last year, just all the unknown and everything the last summer. But going in, we kind of just went right into the process because we kind of knew where we were going to be and all that stuff. So yeah, it was definitely easier to start off with, just knowing where everything's at.
We're visiting with Rawlins County head football coach Aaron Schrammick. Talking about that horrible incident with the fire last year. Do you feel like your guys kind of played inspired for the town and for the school? It was a great season for you guys, just a couple of losses to two very good programs in Hoxie and also Wichita County, but it really seemed like they really played inspired football last year.
Yeah, I do think that, there was a little bit of extra push and motivation maybe from that, just because we knew we had to make some adjustments, and just the community support, and just in general, parents and just everybody kind of rallying behind the kids and all of our athletics. It's, just kind of something that you can always point to and do. Football, we had a strong season, and, I think our volleyball girls and basketball girls both made it to the state tournament. So, it was a good thing that, that the community kind of got behind the kids and understood the facility issues that they had to deal with all season.
No, absolutely. It was some great stories coming out of Atwood last season. When you look at last year, kind of reflecting back, what stands out to you about that season the most?
I think we were overlooked coming in. We had a solid season the year before. We kind of, finishing, I think, 8-3 and making it to the sectional round. And, we had 11 seniors that year. Then we were coming into next season, having to, losing a lot of seniors and having to replace a lot of guys on the starting varsity team. So I think we had some different motivations from different things that happened the year before, and we had some kids that were really hungry to become varsity type players. And they ran with it, and they had the belief, and then we kind of proved ourselves throughout the season. We lost within the last 30 seconds to a really good Hoxie team, and I felt like we competed 4 quarters with a really good Viota team.
Aaron
in our 2
Schromick.
losses.
Yeah, Aaron Schromick is our guest here on the Morning Blitz, talking Rollins County football on the Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware hotline. You guys ran the ball exceptionally well last year, just shy of 3,000 yards as a team. Of course, there's a lot that goes into that, not only, of course, in the backfield, but on the line. Can you talk about how the big guys up front got it done for you last year?
Yeah, they did a great job. We were undersized every game we played. I mean, there was a couple teams that we might have matched up with a little bit better size wise. So we really have to coach firing off the ball and getting into your guys and staying with the blocks long enough to let the running backs find the hole to to move around to get through. So we spent a lot of time on just the blocking scheme and for the backs and some different key points for them to be successful. But they did a real good job up front. I mean, and we're going to try to do the same thing again this year.
What's the biggest things that you have to replace here ahead of this 2024 season?
Well, offensively, we've got basically 3 kids coming back with varsity experience on the offense, and they are mostly in the backfield. We have both of our 2 leading rushers back, and then we have our guard back, and then so we are really looking at replacing basically almost everybody up front except one position, both tight ends, guard, and center, and then one of the running backs. So that's a challenge we have to get through. We got really good speed in the backfield. We just got to find guys up front that are going to find make some openings for them to go. Defensively, we do have 5 or 6 guys back with varsity experience, but we still got a lot to kind of figure out there. We got good numbers. We got 27 out. It's just we got a lot of young guys that don't have a lot of experience. So we're really looking at trying to fill the holes with those guys and seeing what we can put together.
How has that process come along, whether it's through summertime and maybe some camps and here into the first week or so of fall camp?
It's moving along about what we expected. We did have some summer stuff that we did to kind of see what we had and trying to kind of move guys around and put them in the positions that they need to be, that we feel that can best, be successful on the field. And we've kind of continued that through the first 2 weeks of practice, just really trying to get them in the right spot, coach them up, and figure out what's best for the team. The challenging thing for these, these smaller schools, whether it's probably 8-man or 11-man, is just sometimes you got kids that have to play multiple positions on each side of the ball just until you figure out where they go. Or if you have one injury go down, you might have it's not unlikely for a kid to have to play 3 positions in one game just because of the limited numbers or experience at times.
No, absolutely. Totally get it. But it's a bright spot, though. As you mentioned, it's good to have the numbers to get to pick from.
Yeah, 27 out. Last year we had 21, so increase in numbers, it really makes practice, smoother, just to have bodies to go against, and then gives us some, opportunities. And I think 7 or 8 of those are freshmen, so we have a pretty solid freshman class. So we're hoping that, as the season progresses, they can contribute more on the varsity level, and so yeah, that definitely, something to look forward to.
Absolutely. Aaron Schromick, Rollins County head football coach, talking our area high school football previews. What do you think about the schedule this year from top to bottom overall?
We got a tough schedule. We got we've got a very strong district. We've got Hoxie in there, who is always a top tier team, year in, year out. Hill City's has a very strong program. Oberlin's, they got some really good young kids that go with some of their better upperclassmen. St. Francis has got a solid team, and then we've got Stockton in there. But I feel like we definitely have had one of the tougher districts in 8-man the last few seasons, and then our regular season schedule to start the season off is definitely not, in my opinion, not an easy one by any means. We open with the Dighton team, who I believe has a lot of their starters back from last year, and I think are going to be one of the top 8-man D2 teams this year. And then we've got Greeley County, who we haven't played for a few years, are coming back up to 8-man. And then we go to Trigo this year for game 3, which I think they were 7-3 or 7-2 or something like that last year, and we played them in the playoffs. So we got a nice schedule, which is good to try to see what we got on the field. So
no, absolutely. What are you still kind of trying to decide what you're going to do with the quarterback spot? You had a couple of guys that graduated that played that spot last year. Do you kind of know where you're going in that direction?
We're still working on that, to be honest with you. We've got a couple guys that are working in that position, and we haven't made any real decisions yet, and we're almost done with week 2 practice. But we definitely have a couple guys that I feel real comfortable with in that position. So I'm not real concerned about finding that replacement, because both of those guys can get the job done. It's whether or not they're going to start there or in a different position. It's just kind of like with only 3 guys back on offense, we're still in the figuring out process, but feel pretty good about it.
Well, it certainly makes it a little bit easier when you have a player like Ryan, of course, in the backfield there. And he's gotten a lot of preseason publicity and some love from lots of different places. How cool is that to see a young man get the recognition that he deserves for the hard work he's put in over the course of his career?
Yeah, it's been nice too. It's always nice when these, Northwest Kansas, I can say Western, but I want to say especially Northwestern Kansas, small town kids, school get some publicity, because they work as hard as the Eastern Kansas kids year round, all their multiple sports, but he's definitely put the time in, and in the weights and the off season workouts ever since 7th grade. So he's a good kid, not real big, runs well, runs like he's a little bit bigger. He'll run by you, through you, whatever needs to be done. But it's been nice to see the publicity for him. I think it just, maybe get a little bit more for other kids too that coming up, once we get, some more publicity for him. So it's been nice.
Absolutely. One more for you. What are you trying to accomplish here in the last few practices before the first game? What are you trying to get ironed out?
Oh, we're just really still working on, getting these guys that don't have much experience, learning what we need them to do, and figuring out, still figuring out positions, and just really trying to preach effort, get the effort level up, and just really just figure out what we need to do to go into a week 1 game against a top 8-man 2 team in Dighton.
Head coach of the Rawlins County Buffaloes, that's Aaron Trumma. Coach, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day. Really appreciate it, and good luck on the start of the season. We'll catch up as the year gets rolling along.
Thanks, Ross.
Once again, great stuff there from Aaron Trumma, head coach of the Rawlins County Buffaloes. They're going to have a good team this year. I know they might be young in some spots, but in 8-man football, if you've got a dude, you can win a lot of games, and they've got a real dude in Ryan Trumma. So I look forward to seeing how they shake out. They're going to be a really good football team. But like he said, 8-man football in Northwest Kansas, and we've heard this a couple times, is going to be really good this year. I mean, Hoxie is loaded. Wichita County is usually always good. Oberlin's very much improved. St. Francis is getting better. It's going to be a very tough season ahead for all the 8-man teams. And I think that means they're going to be more prepared for the postseason when it comes. And I think Rawlins County is going to be right in that mix as well. Okay, we'll get to a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show with some thoughts on the Kansas football opener tonight against Lindenwood next, and more here on the Morning Blitz.
Have you ever wondered what the greatest gift or legacy would be that you could leave your family when you leave this earthly world? Pre-planning your funeral is something many don't like to discuss. However, pre-planning can help relieve some stress financially and on your family when the time does come. Coons Russell Funeral Home in Goodland and Sharon Springs offer a variety of pre-arrangements and services. Just call Brian Russell and Goodland at Coons Russell Funeral Home and discuss your options today.
Even though your attention has turned back to school with events and activities, you just can't forget everything going on at home. That's where your local Hoover Lumber Ace hardware stores in Goodland and Colby come in. Keep the lawn in check with mowers, blowers, and trimmers from Craftsman, Toro, and Ego. They are still your local Benjamin Moore paint retailer, and they still have that amazing selection of outdoor grills and griddles from Traeger, Weber, and Blackstone. Plus, their helpful and knowledgeable staffs are some of the best in the Northwest. It's all at Hoover Lumber Ace Hardware in Goodland and Colby. Open every day but Sunday.
The Farmers State Bank of Oakley has been financing agriculture since the day we opened our doors. Hello, this is Corbin, and we are proud to be your locally owned partner in ag. We invite you to come and visit with us when you need to purchase new or used farm equipment, or need any type of agriculture or business loan. We have the knowledge, experience, and financial resources to keep you growing. The Farmers State Bank of Oakley, a tradition of community and agriculture for over 115 years. Member FDIC.
Hello, this is Ron Schilling, President of the Sherman County Community Foundation. We're having a big celebration. Please join us at 7:30 p.m. on September 7th at the Price Convention Center in Goodland, as we come together to celebrate all the support you have given us. Big Time Grain Company will be providing live music and a cash bar will be available. We are grateful for you, and we're so excited to announce our new goals and plans for Sherman County. This is a free event and open to everyone. Hope to see you on the 7th.
Mark your calendars for the event of the season. Join us at the 38th Annual Flatlanders Fall Festival from September 27th to the 29th in Goodland. Car enthusiasts, don't miss the Weekend on the Bricks car show and Bikes on the Bricks motorcycle show. Live music, food trucks, and activities for the whole family.
Friday kicks off with live music, free barbecue for the first 600 guests, and fun activities at Chambers Park. Saturday, it's all on Main Street with car and motorcycle show registrations starting at 8.
Visit flatlandersfallfestival.org for details or follow SCCD Community on Facebook.
Your livelihood is important to you. You work hard to succeed in your farming operation, crop, livestock, home, vehicles, and special needs. We have you covered. Discounts are available for new business, remodeling, hail-resistive roofing, multi-policy, and many more. Optional coverage endorsements as well for machinery ingestion and equipment breakdown. Umbrella coverage for additional coverage on your home, farm, and auto. See the girls at the insurance agency at 1020 Main in Goodland or call 785-899-5011.
From the latest scores to the hottest takes,
60% of the time, it works every time.
we're bringing the game to you. You're tuned in to the Morning Blitz with Ross Volkmer.
Couple minutes left to go on a Thursday show. Kansas football kicking off the season tonight. Once again, the season of neutral site games. This one will be played at Children's Mercy Park, home of Sporting KC. Which, in my opinion, this is just my personal opinion. If I was Travis Goff, and I know playing at Arrowhead is special and neat, and that's cool. I get that. I honestly would have said, we're going to play all our games at Children's Mercy Park. We're going to have a crowd of 20,000, 25,000 total. And we're just going to pack that place every single game. It's going to be loud and it's going to be ruckus. And we're going to have a great environment. That's what I guess I would have done. I would have done that. I've seen other games. Being a D2 guy, they used to play some of the national champ. They played a national championship game there for Division II when it was first opened. It was a great atmosphere, great crowd. I would love to have seen that again. I think that would have been cool to see that happen. But they'll play the first couple games at Children's Mercy Park, the rest over at Arrowhead. And tonight they get the Lindenwood Lions in what Kansas is expected to be. Is that a 45-point favorite at this point in time? No, KU's minus 45 at this point in time. So I think if you're Kansas, I think you want to just go out there and show that, hey, we're here this year. We're healthy. We're going to be a force in the Big 12. I think that's what you want to go out and show. And I think they probably will. I think the biggest things I want to see, does Jalen Daniels look like Jalen Daniels? That doesn't mean he has to run for 100-plus yards, but, so show some escapability in the pocket, show that he can take a hit maybe, make all the throws to those deadly wide receivers, and let Big Deal Devin Neal run for 100-plus yards. That's probably what I would do. And then defensively, for Kansas, can you stop the run? Although I think Lindenwood likes to throw it a little bit more. But, just go out there and show that, you can kind of take care of this game and kind of leave it as. Yeah, Kansas is a 45-point favorite. That is a massive spread. And if they can somehow, some way cover that, win 55-6 or something along those lines, great. Awesome for them. But they should be able to get this done should Kansas with an easy win. But then that's why I think, once again, I want to see what I expect. Jalen Daniels looking healthy and, hopefully able to take a hit if he gets sacked and gets up and he's just fine. Want to be able to see Devin Neal run the ball as he has all through his career, for 100-plus yards and some big plays in the passing game as well. I'm actually intrigued to see what the offense looks like. I always thought Andy Koltanecki was so good about, running the offense and finding ways to get advantages by, moving pieces around before the snap. Lots of pre-snap motion, all that stuff. I'm super intrigued to see if it still looks the same. And according to Brian Haney in our conversation earlier this week, then that was the plan. They were going to just keep the same offense and have, Coach Grimes and the new offensive coordinators kind of say, hey, we're going to learn the offense and we're going to run the same stuff and we'll call it. And I hope so, because I always thought Kansas had some of the prettiest and most entertaining offensive schemes out in college football the last few years. And I hope we still see that, especially with this type of offense that they have. And I think we probably will at the same time. But look forward to Kansas tonight, taking on Lindenwood. You can hear coverage on Flyover Country 97.9 with Brian Haney and the Jayhawk Sports Network. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock Central, 6 Mountain Time. And if you want to watch, it'll be on ESPN Plus if you'd like to do that. And, of course, Colorado tonight, we talked about in the first segment, getting North Dakota State. That's the game I'm really excited to see because I think it will be a dandy of a football game. I think North Dakota State is going to give Colorado all they can handle with how they play the game, with their physicality and their great culture that they've established for years and years, going back, 10-plus years of great culture and winning. How does that go up against, Prime and his plethora of star players, but maybe a culture that, is really never set in because it's constantly changing the players there. So I'm very intrigued on that whole storyline going into tonight. So lots of good games on Thursday night. Look forward to kicking off week 1 of the college football season.
A 3-run walk-off home run, a game-winning walk-off with a walk-off. His second walk-off hit of the season. In walk-off fashion, that baby's go.
Mentioned early in the show, the Royals dropped game number 4 of their 4-game series. They took 3 of 4 from the Guardians. That's great. They tied the Guardians at the top of the AL Central for a day. Now the Guardians have the lead at this point in time, but still right there in reach of taking that back are the Royals. Just had a lead. I mean, they were leading 5-2 going into the 7th, and the bullpen led by Lucas Ursig kind of let it go. Bobby Witt Jr., Vinny Pasquantino, and Michael Massey all had solo homers, but it just wasn't enough. The Rockies, they beat the Marlins 8-2. 6 strong innings from Kyle Freeland, his 59th win of his career and his 200th career start. Not a great average there. Also, 4 Marlins errors helped the Rockies in that win. They'll cap that 4-game series this afternoon at 1:10 Mountain Time. Some other quick news. Chiefs signed former Patriots quarterback Bailey Zappi to be the 3rd-string quarterback. They also signed former Broncos running back Samaje Perine. Did the Kansas City Chiefs. So there's that. And, of course, don't forget Goodland Cowgirl Tennis opening up their season today in Waukene. Good luck to the ladies as they get going. Once again, you can catch my preseason kind of preview interviews with them that I did yesterday. You can listen to those now on the NWKS Radio Sound, NWKS Sports Sound and Radio SoundCloud page. So tune in for that. And you can listen. We'll have some more of those coming out throughout the next week or so. Okay, that'll do it for our program. Thanks to Coach Aaron Schromick for hopping on the program. Tomorrow, John Bett's going to join us from Kansas Pregame Magazine. Look forward to visiting him about the 2024 edition of Kansas Pregame Fall Sports Magazine. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Blitz. Have a great day.
Rocket 1025, KKC